Matt Emroy back once again. Well, have another thrift store find for you. This one is kind of an unusual nature. This is something that, though very popular back in the early 90s, maybe to late 90s, ever since about the year 2001 or 2, you rarely ever see these. And this is the PC Accessories Power Center Full Line Surge Suppressor. You can see it's pictured right here, and I actually have one very similar to it right here. This one just happens to be a Memorex brand. And basically what these do is they allow you to control your individual computer components, power at least, from each switch. In other words, in this case, I have the auxiliary one going to, I believe, the monitor. Yep. So I can turn that on and off from here. The computer is actually powering this monitor, I believe. Let me see real quick. Not sure. See, this one I set up a few years ago, and the computer itself is not actually powered by it, but the monitors and a couple other components here are. That monitor, actually, this switch controls that monitor right there. And I think that's actually all I have plugged into this one for now. But let's get back to the one that I just picked up the other day. I got this from the, let's see, which thrift store did I get this one from? Actually, I got it from the Habitat for Humanity store, and I paid a whopping $2.99 for it. So let's go over the box and see if we can figure out exactly when this was from. You can see it says it's lighted rocker switches, 5 individually controlled outlets, or single master switch control. Basically what that means is this master switch is here, and that cuts power to everything. But if you keep that on, then you can individually control your computer, monitor, printer, and then 2 auxiliary ports. So these are kind of handy, especially in their time. Go ahead and turn it to the side here. You can see it said it was made in Taiwan, and I guess that's the model number 10040. There's the barcode for anybody who's interested. Let's see, turning to the back here, it says the Power Center features 3-wire grounded outlets, integrated solid-state line conditioning circuitry, and metal oxide varicitor provides protection against spike surges and other damaging electronical disturbances. Also includes modem protection, so I think that kind of dates it as well. 6 feet of heavy-duty cord, and we'll see how heavy-duty it is once we open it. Metal casing, reseatable 15-amp circuit breaker, which on that one I have over here is on the back. We'll have to see where this one is. And you can pause the video if you want to read the rest of it. Basically, it just talks about the warranty. It's good for 1 year for workmanship or defects. I kind of found this interesting. All surge suppressors are not lightning arresters and do not protect against direct strikes. They have to put that in there because if your electrical system is hit directly by lightning, in other words, not that it gets hit a mile or 2 away on a pole, if it actually hits your pole right outside your house and then comes in from there, pretty much nothing is going to protect you against that. I mean, there's just so much power in a lightning bolt, especially if it's that close. You can see some of the specifications here. Continuous duty rating, 125 volts AC, typical for America. 15 amps, and looks like a total of 1,875 watts. So, for its time, this was more than enough, but if you have a newer computer with like a gaming system with a 1,000-watt power supply, when you add all your other peripherals, probably pushing the limit of what this thing could handle. It shows the maximum spike voltage of 600. Not too bad. Spike current 6,500 amps. That's decent for a system like this. Maximum energy dissipation 80 joules one time. Now that is kind of pathetic. I know even strips like the one I have down there protect you usually against 200, maybe 250 joules. So again, because of this one's age, I'm not that surprised. Maximum clamping ratio, I'm not exactly sure what that means. Clamping voltage, 330 volts. dielectric test, and then operating temperature. You guys can read that. For you electronics gurus out there, it probably makes more sense to you than it does to me, but yeah, just let me know if any of these show any concern, because this may be going on one of my main systems, not my gaming system, but we'll have to. Alright, now that I moved you guys to the tripod, I figured it's time for an unboxing. I don't believe this has ever been opened before, but we're going to find out right now. Let's see. It's just very hard to do when they're old like this. They get very, very brittle. There we go. Alright. Wow. And as you can see, they definitely were not lying about the cord. If I get kind of a close-up of that, you can see that that is a nice thick cord. Yeah, I don't know how well it's made, but at least it's definitely heavy duty, like you would find on a 3-prong extension cord. Go ahead and pull this out of its box. And it does look like it's brand new. You can see it's still in the bubble wrap. There are your 6 switches. And let's go ahead and pull that off. And there you have it. There is the, what do they call this? The Power Center Full Line Surge Suppressor. Got the same kind of switches as my other one does. Again, you have the master, computer, monitor, printer, and then your 2 auxiliary ports. I will say this. I don't think this one is made as well as the Memorex one that I'm using over there. And the reason I could say that is the switches don't have as tactile of a feel as the Memorex ones do. These are pretty easy to move. I mean, you can hear the click, but they just don't feel as well built. With the Memorex one, you can really feel that there's something solid in there. So, again, these are all probably made by the same manufacturer, or definitely Chinese made, but I don't think this one's is quite as good as the other one I have. Another thing I've noticed with it too, just right now, is the finish. This has a finish like you would find on a modern day computer. It's just painted metal, and you could tell the metal's kind of thin. You can even see, I don't know if the camera will pick that up, you can see some scratches right up here, and this is brand new. This has definitely never been used before. My other one has more of a sturdier metal feel. It's actually got a textured top, whereas this is just glossy. So go ahead and turn into the back here. These are your 6 plugs. Again, computer, monitor, printer, and the 2 auxiliary ports. This is the button they were referring to, the circuit breaker. So if for some reason you get a small surge and it wants to protect your devices, the breaker will trip. And then, of course, you'll have to reach around and just push that button to activate it again. Right here it's just saying the computer power controlled, just telling about the 15 amps, 125 volts at 60 hertz, and then, of course, again, made in Taiwan. Now, the only other thing I noticed is there is something down here. Now, this is very interesting. I don't know if you guys can make out what that says. But see there, it says temporary power tap, and it is UL tested. Well, the reason it says it's temporary power tap is because of the build quality. The one I have over there, the Memorex one, does not have that kind of sticker on it. So basically what they're saying is this is not something you'd want to use every day for your main computer. I think what they had in mind for this particular one was somebody who maybe does presentations, because back in the day it was not uncommon for people to bring their desktops with them on business meetings or trips, and I think that's when what they kind of designed this one to do. Now, I just noticed one other problem. I'm going to hold the cord here, and if I shake this, can you guys hear that? So yeah, there's definitely something broken inside. So I'll tell you what, since I didn't pay much for this, and I really don't care if it gets ruined at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you guys what one of these look like inside. So be back in just a minute. Easy to get into. This front part should actually pop right off, but what I'm going to do first is go ahead and take the 4 screws out that are right here. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 screws out of the rubber feet. I'm going to go ahead and just pull it. It should pull back. Sometimes you have to use 2 hands for this. Let's see if I can get it off. Actually, this one you have to pull out, it looks like, on the bottom here. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in just a minute. Well, this is kind of interesting, guys. I don't know if you can look in here, but this is about as simple a unit as I have ever seen. You can see down here, there are just a few, these are the actual switches. And then they're connected to the plugs back here. These are each outlet. I'm assuming the black is a ground, the white is for power, and the green is probably for the either ground or for the surge protection. But you can see right here that the only actual protection here looks like a few capacitors. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't even see a transformer in here, unless maybe it's built into this. But I mean, this is all they have here, and these almost look like diodes to me. If any electronics guys can explain that a little bit better to me, please remember to leave this in the comments. But take a look at that. I mean, that is pathetic. There is nothing in here. The only protection, it looks like, well, you do have the ground coming from your outlet, but I mean, you get that with just a regular wall tap. I don't really see anything in here that makes this a surge protector, let alone a surge suppressor. Man, you know what, guys? I don't think I'm actually going to be using this unit because this really looks shady to me. I mean, now I can see why they call this a temporary tap. I would at least expect to see some type of transformer or something in there that would help control a surge, but I mean, there's just nothing in there. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is going to be another one in my kind of oddware series, but it just goes to show you that when you buy a surge protector, you definitely can get burned, and in this case I definitely did, because I've taken other ones of these apart before and I've never seen one as simplistic as this. They'll usually have a couple filter capacitors, decent ones, and at least have some kind of transformer built in. Well, again, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, have a blessed day, everybody.